They'll just hit the lights, literally. And that one too. The white one. Probably goes up. Thanks. Oh, we've never done this before.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How the heck is everybody?
Awesome. Sunshine.
So, Miley Cyrus, that was Miley Cyrus, by the way, the climb. There's only two ways to take a mountain down, in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, either you climb up to the top and start knocking it down little by little from the top, make it a whole lot less large, or you just start nibbling away at the bottom until one day it falls.
Or
Yeah.
you just look at it and go, wow, there's a mountain. And go the other freaking way.
Yeah. That
Not
too.
all
Go
mountains
around
are
it.
meant to be
Go around it. Don't go up it. Don't go around it. Hey,
Don't mind me. I'm just
Paula just had her deduction for the year.
Paula and Vlad is so thrilled.
Yep.
It's warm up here.
She was a little worried about this one.
She
Took a
did
while.
good.
Took a while, but all went well. And remind me of the name,
Isabella
Isabella
Valentina.
Valentina. So,
Almost Valentine's Day.
yeah,
Close.
almost. All right, what am I doing? Oh, how about our patron saints, George Carlin and
John
Lennon? Thank you.
Yay, George and John.
See, it takes two of us. It always has. 27 years, it takes two of us to do this. So, John said, there are pieces I'll remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone, some remain. All these places had their moments with loves and friends. I still can recall. Some are dead, some are living in my life. I've loved them all.
Sweet.
Yeah. And George, always insightful.
George.
No one has had taps played for them has ever been able to hear it. It's true. Yep.
It's a sacred honor, I think.
Well, it is.
I think their spirit hears them.
Yeah. This one would have been good about 2 months ago. The song Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was created in 1939 in Chicago as a Christmas promotion for the Montgomery Ward's department store. Old Monkey Ward's. Gosh, I love that store.
You know?
I did. The lyrics were written as a poem by Robert May and weren't set to music, though, until 1947. Gene Autry recorded the hit song in 1949. Gene Autry, really? Wow. Who knew?
I don't remember hearing any twanging on that, though.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Gene
That's
Autry was
somewhat
kind
of
of
a
twangy.
surprise. Yep. Where am I? A touch of love makes all things well again.
That's true.
I don't. If you have one true friend, you have more than your share. The more the merrier, the fewer the better fare.
That one requires some pondering.
Yes, well, there's a lot of things that require. Most things in here require pondering.
Some don't require nothing but rejection.
Yeah, well, that's true too. The man who insists upon seeing with perfect clearness before he decides, never decides. Yep.
True.
Gotta put your toe in that water sometime and just jump in.
Jump on in.
The intelligent man finds almost everything ridiculous. The sensible man, hardly anything. Seeking to
So
know.
which one am I?
I know. Yeah. You're in between
Yeah,
somewhere.
some sort of mixture.
Depends on what
Depending
day
on the
you're on.
moment.
Yeah. Seeing to know is only too often learning to doubt.
Ooh.
I like that one too.
That's a good one.
I really, really like that.
We saw a movie last night.
We did.
An old movie.
Yes, we did.
You guys have probably seen it a million times also. Cowboys and Aliens.
Oh, yeah.
And I have forgotten. It's been so long since I've seen it, I've forgotten. It's wonderful when you get old and your memory kind of slips a little bit.
Yeah, everything's new. Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I remember the general gist, but everything else was kind of fun. Anyway, they had a preacher on there, and he had some really wise words. I have to watch that front part again because it was really quite profound.
Each time he said something, we looked at each other and went, oh, that was awesome. Write that down.
We didn't.
And we didn't.
I was busy watching.
Yeah, yeah. So if you get a chance to watch it, pay attention to what the preacher has to say. Down to earth person.
Yeah.
So. Where am I?
He was not holier than thou.
No,
or
he
anything.
was
He
not.
was down to
No.
earth.
Why did the little strawberry cry?
I don't know.
Her mom and dad were in a jam. Why did the rooster cross the road?
To find the chickens?
Yeah.
It was the chicken's day off.
No, he went to find the chickens.
I know.
Because he's a chicken. He's just a male chicken.
Do we have a calendar? Something going
We do?
on?
Yeah,
I was going to talk about Course in Miracles.
That's this-
Second and fourth Friday, 10:30 to 12. Nina, where's Nina? There's
There she
Nina.
is.
There she is. So yell at her if that's of interest to you. I think it's awesome.
And I don't see Andrea yet. If she shows up, she'll do Seime after services today.
What's Seime? Do you remember?
Seime is a healing modality.
From Hawaii.
From
Japanese.
it's
Isn't it-
Japan.
Is it Japan?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I don't
But she
know.
practiced it when she was in Hawaii. I think
Okay,
that's
maybe
what
that
she
was it.
remembered.
Okay.
And then A Course in Miracles is Friday, and then I have another Ancient Ones this Saturday.
Morning, Sandra.
That group is full, but if you're interested in the Ancient Ones, ask me more about that, and I may do a third one in March.
Really?
Yeah,
Ooh.
because there's that much interest. It was really cool. It was,
She's still exhausted today. So, yeah.
yeah, uphill battle getting out of bed.
Yep. My cat is not a ruthless hunter. She is a wildlife control expert. My cat is not evil. She is badness enhanced. My cat is not fat. He's a mass enhanced.
He is mass in.
Mass enhanced. My cat is not hydrophobic. She has the inability to appreciate moisture. My cat is not underfoot. She is shepherding me to the next destination, which is usually towards the food dish. Yeah. If you have a cat.
Or the
that's
floor, because you got it. She got it under your feet.
true too. True. Butterflies taste with their feet. That's one way. That's the one way to find out if it's a flower, a tasty flower. Yeah, makes sense. Because I was always kind of wondering, because they kind of get on this one and there's a flower right there, and then they go to the next one. It's like, what are they doing? So it makes perfect sense.
Tasty.
There's enough DNA in the human body to stretch from the sun to Pluto and back. 7.5 billion miles.
Good thing he's tiny.
That's a
Fit in our body.
boatload of DNA in every person. A snail can sleep for 3 years at a time.
Oh, I need to.
I know. I tell you, you come to church, you learn stuff. Not real useful, but you learn stuff. So. Anything else that I should know about? Anything I
If
should
there
know?
is, there's, don't ask me.
Okay.
Blank slate today.
Cool.
We have a guest speaker.
Yay.
I am thrilled and delighted to report. She just got back from a very interesting trip. I hope she tells us a little bit about that.
I love that tea.
Oh, isn't that amazing?
That is awesome. Were you going to talk about it at all?
No.
Okay. I don't know if she's going to talk about where she's going, but in Africa there's this compound that she went to, and they grow things around them like tea. They grow their own tea.
And coffee.
And coffee.
The coffee's back there too.
The coffee, yeah, the coffee's in the back too. I think the coffee's great, and the tea is like, wow, awesome. So, kind of neat.
Fun stuff.
All the way from Guatemala?
Tanzania.
Tanzania? Okay.
Serengeti.
Serengeti.
Wow.
Yep.
That was an adventure of a lifetime, no
Yep.
doubt.
Cool song.
So she's got some amazing things to tell us today to spiritually encourage us. So let's give a big, warm Divine Fellowship welcome to Michele Lanigan.
Go for it, Bill.
Oh, it has a way.
It has a way.
It
There's
has
a
a
way.
way.
Look, the way of being.
I'm not sure which is best spot to sit. I guess here. So So no, I'm not going to talk about Tanzania today. I think I'm still digesting everything that happened. It was quite a trip. It was a 19-day trip. So 4 days of travel. So 16 days. No, it was a 16-day trip, 12 days in country. So it was quite amazing, and it was all safari. We did a little bit of shopping, but it was safari. But I am going to follow up from the last time I talked. It was back in December, beginning of December, and I talked about angels and basically spirit guides. And so I'm going to follow up with that. If you didn't see that, it doesn't matter because this is kind of a standalone talk. But first, can you guys hear me okay? To me, I sound quiet. Okay. So one of the things I've talked about in the past is this page on Facebook, and I've talked about near-death experiences. And near-death experiences are when you die and you go to the other side and you come back. And this page on Facebook has all kinds of people on it that have written about their experiences, and people ask questions and share information, and it's just really enlightening. I love reading some of the stories. But the other day, a couple of weeks ago, somebody put on there, and this was somebody who hadn't had a near-death experience, and she says, I almost want to have an NDE so I can connect with my guides. So she wanted to die so she could connect with her spirit guides. and of course, dying comes with all the pain, right? And then you come back and you've got to heal. And so this kind of confused me. And I do use spirit guides, and I know a lot of you do as well. And Janice teaches classes, so I don't discount using spirit guides, but I was surprised by that comment. And I was surprised by all the people who said, yeah, me too, that sounds so cool. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. But the interesting thing was, there was two things. One, the people that had near-death experiences, they're like, no, you guys are crazy. You do not want to go through dying. And it's not that their experiences weren't amazing, but the physical stuff you have to go through, obviously, is pretty horrendous. So I thought that was crazy. The people who hadn't had NDEs are like, oh, let's die and go find it. Is I've been reading about near-death experiences for like high school, so very, very long time. And the one thing that I noticed in looking at this is I don't remember people talking about finding spirit guides when they had a near-death experience. I don't remember anybody mentioning that. Now, some people did mention, when they got back and they might be more open psychically, spiritually, and seeing spirit and seeing or hearing or having more of an awareness on that level. But I have not seen one saying, yeah, it was really cool and I got spirit guides. It just didn't happen. And I thought that was kind of interesting. Now, a lot of the people responded with like other ways to find your spirit guides, like meditation or taking a class or something like that. But the people that did have near-death experience, they had some very interesting comments. And I want to read a couple of these to you. So these are copied. And this first one is very cute. It starts with, you don't need to, my lovely. Isn't that cute? My lovely. And so she said, you don't need to, my lovely, meaning have a near-death experience. Connecting to our higher self is way more beneficial than connecting to our guides. Wow, that's pretty powerful. Connecting to our higher self is way more beneficial than connecting to our guides. And then this next person said, you don't need one, being in a near-death experience, you don't need one to connect to your guides. And then in parentheses, which are actually fractals of you. So I've never heard that. This person was looking at spirit guides as being basically a part of us. And I've never really looked at it that way. I kind of see my guides as being an independent, separate entity. So that was kind of interesting. And then another person said, and this is beautiful, you don't have to, meaning have a near-death experience, you don't have to, you can just listen in your mind and heart for words of light and love and trust what comes. Isn't that beautiful? I'll read it again. You can listen in your heart and mind for words of light and love and trust what comes. That's beautiful. It's too long to put on a t-shirt though. But this next one, this is my favorite, and you can put this on a t-shirt, and I think we should have a Divine Fellowship t-shirt. And it's, your guides is you. So those of you who are teachers, good luck with that one. I know there's some grammar issues in there, but your guides is you. And that's all they said. So I just want to talk about what that means. What does it mean finding our higher self and being our own guide? And my personal path has been to find my answers to create a wonderful life. And I have for some time been aware that I am my best spirit guide. And I know that sounds strange, but you guys are also all your best spirit guides. You're very capable spirits, or you wouldn't be here. You have a body, and that's like kind of premium in the spirit world. Not everybody gets to do that, so there's a big plus. And you're also capable enough to realize that you are more than just your body. You are here, and you're taking steps to grow spiritually, to learn about yourself, and that's really a big deal. Most people on the planet don't think of life in those terms. So you've taken some amazing spiritual steps in your spiritual growth. So this is the big part of why you're your best spirit guide, because it's your body, right? You picked it. I know maybe we don't always want to admit that, but you picked it. And it's a weird concept to be your own guide. You know, so what do people use spirit guides for? For healing? I use spirit guide. If I'm doing a healing on somebody, like if you've been in the healing circle, I use my spirit guides for healing. Sometimes people ask their spirit guides when they're trying to make a decision about something or how to solve a problem, or maybe for protection. And maybe consider, though, instead of asking other spirits what to do, maybe ask yourself. Ask yourself what you should do. And the way you do this is to, I'm just sorry, I just got distracted by the little thingies moving on there, sorry. So find your meditation space. The way you find communication with yourself is find your meditation space, your quiet place, whatever that is for you. And it can be different for everybody. And get in touch with yourself. Listen to yourself. And trust yourself to show you the answers. And I've done this a lot over the years. And sometimes it's been, you want something very profound and big. So it's very easy to sometimes miss what you're looking for. And recently, I think in the past couple of years, I was having some issues with my health, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? And I said, show me the answer. And what I saw was I was missing iron. That's what it was. I was missing iron. So it was something nutritional. I saw it was something nutritional, and I looked at, what I was taking in my diet and stuff, and just changed my iron, and the issues went away. Another time I was sitting meditating and had some stuff going on, and I'm not a good one about going to the doctor. It's, I'll figure this out. It's kind of my attitude. And so I'm sitting there meditating and thinking, okay, what's going on? And the answer I got was go to the doctor. And I did, and it worked. And just recently I became aware of, and it's funny because we were talking about this in the healing circle today, so it's just a coincidence, of course. But I have a bad habit of ignoring my self-care. I put up with things. I mean, I'm sort of person that, if I have shoes on that aren't comfortable, I'll just, I'll just worry about it later. I don't walk around with uncomfortable shoes. And I do stuff like that on time sometimes. And so I said to myself, this needs to stop. This needs to stop. I need to take better care of myself. I need to listen to myself. and I said, I want to be in tune to what I want spiritually, emotionally, and physically. And I wanted to clear this unconscious energy that's been kind of keeping me from really having my best life. And so some of the kind of things that have happened to me that made this really clear is, and the people in the healing circle have heard this one, is I had been dealing with sore shoulder for like almost a year. It was last summer we were doing healings on it, and I went to physical therapy. I got done with physical therapy. I stopped doing my exercises, and it came back, and it was really bad. So I just kind of ignored it and put up with it. I've also had an ulcer for over a year. And so I just, taking some herbal stuff, not consistently, they may have helped or may have healed, but, once in a while, once a week, maybe, it's like, it's just an ulcer, so what if I'm in bad pain? And I had this ulcer going to Africa, so it was very uncomfortable. So I said this prayer, or this statement to myself of this needs to change. I am not going to do this anymore. My self-care is going to become most important. I'm not going to ignore it. I'm not going to get distracted. I'm going to take care of myself. And that was like less than a month ago. And just all kinds of things have changed. For one, I joined a gym, and I've been wanting to join a gym for years, but I kept ignoring it. That's part of self-care. And I love this gym, and my shoulder is doing good. And it's not even been a month. And my shoulder is doing really good. I rarely get any pain. I told her what was going on, and she gave me exercises and makes me do them 3 days a week. And I try to remember them at home. And then the other thing was my doctor is she's a very holistic doctor. She's a medical doctor, I addressed the ulcer issues with her. And I think part of why is I didn't want to do the round of antibiotics. And like I said, she's holistic, so she gave me supplements that are working on my ulcer. And it was like, you have to go through them for several weeks, but right away I could feel the difference. So that happened really quick. And then the other thing was, and I didn't expect it, and this is what's really cool about when you're healing yourself on a spiritual level, is you get all these big things happening. And many of you have heard about my never-ending remodel project. Huh, Ellen? Ellen was my house sitter while I was in Africa. But, I don't have floors. 2 of the bathrooms are tore up. It's a disaster. And I found a contractor this week. So, yay! That just shows you how when you start to take care of yourself and listen to yourself, things just start to come together. And there's been a whole bunch of other kind of smaller things that are just things that are coming together that I put off because of that. It was just not on my horizon as something I needed to take care of. So you can talk to yourself as a spirit guide, and I encourage you to talk to yourself on a deep level. And what I mean by that is when I was looking at my ulcer and my shoulder and these things, I didn't say, okay, I want to heal my ulcer, I want to heal my shoulder. I saw that what was going on beneath that is I just kept ignoring myself. So I took that step down or deeper and looked at what was going on. So ask yourself about these big things. And our biggest power in making these kind of changes is to realize that you can make the change. That's an incredible power. For years, literally this was like my lifetime. This is probably programming that happened when I was a kid and that sort of thing. So, I just kind of ignored it and put up with it for all these years. And that was huge to just say, no, I'm done. I'm done with this energy. I'm going to change. I'm going to nurture myself, and I'm going to take care of myself. So I want to throw out some questions that you can ask. And these are just suggestions, but I want to show you kind of how this works, of examples of sort of the questions you can ask yourself. For example, show me how to heal emotionally. So that's a really big one. Or how about, I want to release this fear of, so whatever you're feeling like, what kind of fear might be holding you back from something you want to do. Maybe you want to do public speaking, but you guys are all really scary. I want to end my anxiety about my family. Or you could say, I want to end my anxiety about anything. Or maybe you want to change something about your family. I want to feel validated about my job. And I just want to point out something before, as you know, these last three, I use the word want, and these are kind of like affirmations. And I've heard people in the past say, don't use the word like no or negative, and don't use the word want, because that creates that energy of want. But it depends on how that word is being used. So like, if you go to Starbucks and you say you want a coffee, they will give you a coffee. They'll probably first say, what do you want? How big? Do you want whipped cream or cinnamon? Or I don't know. I don't do Starbucks. I don't drink coffee. But so they're going to ask you what you want. And the universe is like that. You know, tell the universe what you want. I want this. So there's want, meaning you're telling somebody what you want. Or also the word is like I said, I need to change this. The word need, you know, it's not being needy. Like if your boss comes to you and says, I need you to do something, you know, that's a direction. So that word can mean both things. And so it's how you feel about whatever sentence you're using. It's not specifically the words itself. So look at how it feels for you. You know, find something, say something that works for you. So like this next one is, show me how to not feel needy. That's a pretty powerful one. How about, show me how to heal from my addiction? And that could be anything, whatever that means for you. I always make jokes about my addiction to chocolate. And after starting to work on this, it doesn't like that. I mean, it really was. Couldn't keep chocolate in my house because I'd eat it. And I don't feel that way anymore. And I knew I would stop at ice cream all the time, and I would eat stuff that I didn't really want to. And now I don't. So you can use this to help heal yourself. Here's a big one. Show me how to love myself. Ask your spirit to show you how to love your body, love who you are, your personality. And this is one of my favorite, and you can use this like daily or weekly or whenever you sit down and kind of do your meditation thing. Show me my next step in, and it could be anything. Show me my next step in work, parenting, my personal favorite, show me my next step in my spiritual growth. Isn't that huge? So, and then the other thing, the next step is being open about the answer. It may not be what you expect. So if you have a problem you're working on and you think the solution is this, and in reality, if you do this process and you leave yourself open that the answer could be anything, then you'll be really surprised. I know I was. And the answer may be how to deal with like a particular situation. Maybe like I had a friend who was in a job and it was awful. I mean, the job was good, but there were some people there that were awful to work with. And so she was, I need to find another job, but I don't want to. I really like this job. It works perfectly for me, and I hate finding a new job, blah, 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 blah. And she did something like this and said, I just need my job. I need to do something. I don't know what, but I need to do something. And one of the guys left. Somebody got promoted out of that office. And then the third woman, she got pregnant and left. And so all those people were gone. And the people who replaced them were wonderful and a great fit. So you can't find sometimes if you're stuck, it's because you're not seeing the right answer. And you need to ask yourself and be open to that. So the point of this is to develop your relationship with yourself and trust yourself for the right answer. Because who's the best spirit guide? You. And I'm not saying don't use spirit guides. You know, do what works for you. What I'm saying is don't give up your seniority to your spirit guides, and certainly don't die to find a spirit guide. You know, find your information. You have the power to change what you want to be. And so by communicating with yourself and changing the energy, you know, like that one lady said, your guides is you. You are the answer. In fact, I've mentioned this person before. I forgot to bring his book. Michael Tamura, and I'll take a picture of the book and post it on Divine Fellowship page, wrote a book that is titled You Are the Answer. And he does talk about his 3 near-death experience, which I don't understand either. A lot of these people that had near-death experiences had like 3 of them, 2 or 3. No, thank you. Anyway, so it's a pretty amazing book. And before we get into a meditation, I want to share with you a little prayer that is for my favorite spirit guide. And it goes like this. Jesus, I could use a little help right now. And that has saved my bacon so many times you have no idea. It's, you know, and a lot of times, like when I sit down, if you're really anxious about something or frustrated or upset, and I'll sit down to meditate, and I can't even find my head, and I'll say this little prayer, Jesus, I could use a little help right now. Or if I'm trying to go to sleep, and, you know, so try to remember that one. It's very powerful. Use it anytime. Jesus doesn't care. He'll hear you. And he may fix it in a way that you can't expect. So are you guys ready to do a little meditation? Maybe, because I just dumped a lot of information, maybe stretch a little bit, and take some deep breaths, say hello to your body. And go ahead and close your eyes. Ooh, it got dark. Huh? Oh, absolutely. I was reading. It got dark. No, I'm fine. So close your eyes and notice how your chair feels, and just relax and be in your space and create a connection with the planet. I usually do that with my at the base of my spine, where my first chakra is, to the center of the planet, or you can feel it through your feet, whatever feels comfortable for you. And remember to breathe. We are not trying to have an NDE here, so breathing is important. And just notice your bubble around you. Imagine being in your bubble, maybe about 18 inches out. And this is the edge of your aura. And just notice how good that feels to just be in your own space. And take some deep breaths. And then be in the center of your head. This is your control center, is right in the center of your head. And you can make a little room in there for you to just hang out and chill. You can look however you want. While I was listening to the music, I was in the center of my head dancing. So you can set it up however you want. But it's basically where your 6th chakra, your 3rd eye, would be. And if you have trouble finding the center of your head, you can just kind of tap on your forehead gently and just remind yourself to be in that spot, kind of right behind your eyes. And notice how that feels to just be in your head. This is your control center for your body. A lot of times we get really spaced out and we're anywhere but in the center of our head. And so from this place, this is where I like to go to ask myself these deep questions. So this is a time, if you have an issue you're working on, you can ask yourself, how do I solve it? Show me the answer. What is my next step? And if you don't have a particular question that you're working on, you can just say, show me my next step in my spiritual growth. And you may hear the answer right now. You may see the answer or feel it. Usually when I do this, most of the time I just let it come to me whenever. I don't have an anticipation that I'm going to get that answer right this second. It may come to me in the next day or so or an hour. But just ask yourself, whatever you want, show me the answer. Or show me just the next step. Sometimes it may be something big and all you need is the next first step. And just put the postulate out there that you will find the answer, that it will come to you, that you will know it when it comes to you, that it will be obvious to you. And take a couple deep breaths. And I want you to take a deep breath and picture like a candle out in front of you and just blow out like you're blowing out a candle. So, and that just kind of releases that question out into the universe. And now above your head, imagine there's a big gold sun and you're calling back your own energy, your own information, and put it in that big gold sun. It's your energy. It's your spirit energy. It's your life force energy. It's whatever energy you want, as long as it's yours. And bring that down into your body, to the top of your head, and let it fill up your body, every cell, every muscle, every hair, your eyeballs. And let it spill out and fill that whole bubble around you. You guys are all sparkly gold, so pretty. And go ahead and bend over and stretch and wake up and come on out of your meditation. And while you're kind of digesting all that, I do have a story. Yeah, Janice, could you turn the light on again? Thank you. So I wrote this out, and I do this for myself. I haven't really like sat down and figured out a process, so to speak, until I was working on this last night, because, yeah, why do it ahead of time, right? So I was working on this last night, and I went, I need to ask a question. And when I went to Tanzania, there was just a lot of stuff going on before I left, and I was making this mad dash to clean my house because Ellen was coming, and it was a disaster. Ellen, it was so much better when you got there. There was still stuff. Bless her heart, she cleaned my house while I was gone. And but I was trying to, because I cleared out a dresser for her in my room, and I was clearing the stuff off the bathroom counter so she could have that space. And there was like some stuff I haven't been able to find, and I got back the beginning of February, so it's been weeks, and I haven't been able to find it, and it's driven me nuts. And I was in such a scattered space that I was like putting stuff in the weirdest spots. It was like, oh, that's where that went. And it was just really, really crazy what was going on in my head at that time. And so I sat down and was meditating, and I went, okay, show me, because I had this little cup that I had, and I had like some makeups and eyeshadows, and I sat there and I said, okay, show me where this is. And I saw it in one of my bedrooms where I have stuff there for Goodwill, and I'm like, it's not in the Goodwill bag. Why would I put it in the Goodwill bag? And it didn't make sense. And I went, okay. And so I got done, and I went and did some other things. I just kind of forgot about it. I went, it's not in the Goodwill bag. And I went to check the Goodwill bag, and it was not in the Goodwill bag. But right next to it was a shoebox, because everybody keeps empty shoeboxes, right? And I opened it up, and guess what's in there? I found it, and some other stuff. And then, and as part of doing that, I also remembered something else that, actually I didn't remember it, but I got the picture that I needed to go check in my office. And I found some other stuff that I had stashed in there. So this really does work. It really does work. And you talk to yourself. And some people say, oh, well, you're getting in touch with your subconscious. Maybe I was, maybe I wasn't. It doesn't matter. You know, you're still putting yourself first, and you're communicating with yourself, and you're listening to yourself, and you're creating your life. So we have a couple of minutes. Does anybody want to share their experience? Anybody want to talk about what you asked for, what you saw when we did that meditation? Come on, you guys are not shy, I know that.
Well, Michelle, this is just a continuation of yesterday, the same journey, the exact same issue, and I'm getting what I asked for. My eyes are clearing better, so.
Wow, that's cool.
And I was talking to myself, should I come, should I stay, should I go? Coming to church, and I almost talked myself out, but then
Yay, good job. Good job getting here. Sometimes it's hard to come to church because we're going to make big changes. Anybody else? Oh, come on, you guys are being shy.
I just wanted to say, when you said go ahead and expand your aura, I didn't put a rose on the edge of it because I kept expanding it, and I got almost all the room.
Oh, wow.
To the drum maker, but I couldn't reach to the cowboy hat.
Come on.
That's his protection.
I was so pleased that I was able to reach out and touch most of you. Memorized with William and Sandra anyway. That's what I want to share.
Well, I'd like to add on to what John said here, is that when you put that 18 inches on there, it was like, ah! Because you were pulling me back. Right. I wanted to just go out.
And a lot of times, it sounds like that's kind of a question, since a couple people brought it up, is I try to keep my aura around here. You know how people say, oh gosh, I was so spaced out. Well, we tend to expand our aura, and we're kind of like feeling what's out there. And so by bringing it in, you're not feeling everybody else. And a lot of people, oh, well, I'm such an empath, I can walk in a room and feel everybody. Okay, don't do that. Bring your aura in, and you don't have to feel everybody.
Good.
Yeah, so be in your bubble.
Thank you, that's nice.
You're welcome.
Can I say something real fast to that? I had one gal was in having a healing, and from my office, her aura was blown out all the way to the street. And once we brought it in, she was like, oh, that's what it feels like to be normal again. Who knows how, trauma sometimes will cause us to blow out like that. But it made a huge difference, and she made the effort to be noticing it, and just by noticing it, the aura comes in, stays right with us, and is that energy shift.
This stuff is real.
It's real.
It's real. Mimi?
Hey, so I just wanted to share my experience about this aura extension. I mean, how big is it? And many years ago, I took my kid to Japan, and we visited the country for just a few days, and the weirdest thing happened. I never felt alone. I never felt aggressed. I felt so comfortable, and I felt comfortable no matter where I was, except in the cemetery. In the cemetery, that was like not the right place. We visited because we arrived during the cherry blossom time, and the cemetery was filled with beautiful, beautiful cherry trees, and it was just magic. But there was something wrong about the energy. Nevertheless, coming back to the aura, when we were walking downtown in a river of people, there were so many people around me. We were literally walking shoulder against shoulder, and it was not that I was alone, because I wasn't alone. I could see all the people around me, but I didn't feel people, and it felt good. What I'm trying to say is that as we practice this gathering together, keeping close the aura, that can be extraordinarily beneficial for other people around us. If we start to behave in, I don't know, I would call it hygiene. It's a hygienic, it's a matter of cleanness. I used to use my aura in terms of feeling, just like you described, the room, the emotions. That was the only way that I could understand the people around me. That was my way of being safe. But I don't need it anymore. And I've got to experience how a crowd of people are using their aura in a different right. I'm not sure that was very clear.
Well, there are cultural, this is a cultural thing too. Like Americans, we tend to keep our bubble about 18 inches. And I mean, even psychologists document this. They don't call it an aura, they call it our personal space. Most Europeans, it's a lot closer. But the Japanese people, they keep their aura very close. And so that's what you're being aware of. So it is a cultural thing. And talking about aura, since that seems to be the subject and that you guys want. So on Facebook, if you could, as you kind of go through whatever you were looking for, I'd love to hear your responses of your answer coming back and if you got what you wanted. So I'm going to put something on Facebook. So please respond, because I'd love to hear your feedback on the actual meditation we did. But what I was in, because I wasn't going to talk about my trip this today, but since it's come up, is one of the days we were very near Olduvai Gorge, and that was where they found the Leakeys found like the early humans, the first bipedal people. And one morning, and we were actually, they have these really elaborate, fancy camps. I mean, they all had plumbing, and they were gorgeous, but we're out in the Serengeti. Like monkeys were crawling on my tent and stuff like that. But one morning, though, I got up a little bit early and I unzipped, because they zip you in at night. So I unzipped it and I sat and I meditated and I expanded my aura, like miles away out to Olduvai Gorge and across the Serengeti. And I just sat there, and that was our ancestors. That was where we evolved. That's where Spirit first came in and said, we're going to create humans. And it was just such a miracle to just feel that original mock-up to be on this planet. It was awesome. I just wanted to sit there and just kind of bask in it. So with that, I think we need to finish up, but I do want to hear your stories about what you created and what you asked yourself for. So please share them on Facebook. Thank you. Thank you.
Mine was pretty personal, so I'll tell you privately.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. A lot of them are personal. So you guys don't want to talk about your personal stories? Is that it? What's your personal?
Mr. Phil, if you join me up front for communion, that'd be great. So I was a little weary this morning. Forgot my Bible and my phone. So that's pretty tired to not even remember your Bible or your phone. So you'll have to go from me remembering my very favorite Bible verse.
Yeah, right.
James, the first chapter, is every good and perfect gift comes from the Father of lights, in whom there is no shifting or shadow of change. Don't you love that? Wow. That steadfast love is always there and always bringing us good stuff. So when we open to the good stuff, I want this, Spirit hears and works with us to create that. With that said, let's do communion, shall we? Communion's in the back baskets in the back. If you want to participate, you don't have to if you don't want to. Join us in prayer, please. Loving Spirit of light, thank you. Thank you for helping us be real. Thank you for helping us be here. Thank you for the blessings you bring our way. Help us to remember to be grateful. Thank you. In the name of Jesus, the Ascended One. Amen.
Amen.
Oh my word, that's stale.
You noticed that too, huh? It's pretty stale.
Still works.
Yes.
Yep.
There's nowhere it says it has to be fresh, right? At one church I attended, I used to make communion bread. Nobody liked it. So I stopped doing it. They didn't like this. We like the crackers.
Whatever.
It was too funny. Join us in prayer again, please. Loving Spirit of light, as we drink this in, help us to drink in life, all of it, and help us to drink it in with love, and help us to drink it in with awareness and connectedness. Thank you. In the name of Jesus, the Ascended One. Amen.
Amen.
Oh, I forgot to tell you about our interesting experience this week here.
Hold on to your hats for
Yeah.
this one.
Any of you noticed last Sunday when it looked like that we had low water pressure here? Restrooms weren't working right, and of course I going, well, my thought at the time, of course it was cold and we were shoveling snow, it's 60 degrees right now, is that maybe we did have a little bit of a freeze in the pipe somewhere, so we left the water running a little bit more than we had been. And finally on Monday I came by and I was like, well, God, it's still doing it, but I still didn't do anything.
I was here. You were at home.
Yeah.
I sent you that video.
That's right. Oh, that's right.
You
And
weren't
she
there.
didn't know if it was low or not because she just
I don't know.
didn't know. So I just kind of skipped it and I, it's either Tuesday, Wednesday. Anyway,
Wednesday.
I finally came and went, oh crap, we have got a water break. So I called the city first and said, it looks like we've got a water break. I need somebody to come out to turn out the water now. And I said, by the way, can you check at our usage just to see if it changed and when? Yeah. We went from an average of about 1 unit of water to per month, extended period of time, to 19 Wednesday before last to 50 a day up until Wednesday a day. So we used years worth of water in a short length of time. So of course I'm going, oh crap. So first I had to rile up a plumber, and then of course the commercial plumbers wanted $300 an hour, portal to portal. Okay, there's got to be something else. So we got a referral from somebody we really trusted. I met the plumber here. We looked. Again, long story short, there was a broken pipe. It was fixed. He didn't charge us anything. But we're
next month.
Yeah, I know.
That bill is gonna be
I do have a form I got to fill out for the city of Richland. At least they will help us with about half of the water. So I don't know what that means yet. It's still going to be interesting. So anyway, it was one of those fun weeks.
Exciting.
Exciting, yes.
It'll be covered.
We got it.
Thank you. So, thank you.
Here. So I have another basket I'm going to send
Is this going to go
around.
anywhere?
Huh?
Is this going anywhere?
No.
Okay.
Some of you know that Scott Green moved back from
Florida
to come back and join us. And he's been having some difficulties, some health issues and things. He had a procedure done on his eye, so it didn't work well. So his vision is impaired, so he can't drive anymore. And anyway, you know how when you get kind of isolated, it's really it's easy to isolate more and not reach out. So it would be really helpful if you're willing to let Scott give you a call. Write your name and phone number. I've got this pen here. It writes big and bold because he can't see really well. But it would be really helpful. We're going to put the names in the basket, fold them up and put them in the basket. And then when he's led to draw a name, he'll draw a name out of the basket and then call. If you're busy doing something, you just tell him it's okay. Maybe all that he needs is to hear a voice to say, I love you, I'll call you back. Make sense? If you would rather, I've got his phone number down. You can write his phone number down and take it home with you, and you call him when you feel available to do so. But sometimes we need to reach out for one another, and this is one of those opportunities to do that. So put your name as big as you can and your phone number on one of the cards, and pass the basket around if you would, please. If you would get that started. If you don't want to participate, don't. This is just a fun thing. If you want to be participating in that, that's fine, because this is going to be a spirit thing. Because they'll be folded up, he can't see who's who until he pulls it out. So it's just a blessing thing.
And we love Scott.
And we love Scott. Yes, ma'am.
Transportation or
transportation, he has a ride here, but I think you could get help. Transportation help would be beneficial, would it not, Scott? So if you want to write that on the card, that you'd be willing to do that, that would be helpful. That'd be really helpful.
And he lives in Kennewick.
And he lives in Kennewick, yeah. Not too far from the mall. So we'll get that going. I should have done that sooner. Is there anything else I need to be telling you? Am I forgetting something? Forgetting anything? So let's do an energetic circuit for the folks online. And if you online want to participate in connecting with Scott, just contact me. Whether you know, if you're a Facebook friend, you can contact me directly, whatever. So we'll get you hooked up. You know, it's just good to be kind to one another and reach out for one another. You know, I have my personal experience of kindness is I can pray all I want. I can how can I say this? When I do a kindness for someone, it's like a shot of adrenaline. I'm not only blessing that other person, but I'm blessing me. So if you could use a boost in your life, write your name down and be available for a call. It's just to give a blessing and get a blessing in return. It's awesome. So folks online, we're going to rip hands together really, really fast. You're connected into that divine source. Bring that energy to your heart space, from your heart space to your left hand to your right hand, and then back to your heart space. And this connects that energetic circuit. And as that energetic circuit is connected, then you can feel the energy build between your hands, can you not? Isn't that beautiful? This is not your energy. This is sacred energy. This is divine energy, limitless energy. That Father of lights in whom there's no shifting or shadow of turning. It's all love, all light, all the time. It's just love and ready to give and bless to you. Then bring that into your heart space. Have a great week. We'll see you next time. Say goodbye. Bye. Bye.